just get my... Okay. I've got the Europa League scores up on my screen right now. I should probably take that down. But okay, we are live now. And we're about to get into it. Just wait for the lobby to get in, and then I'll kind of do a little intro. I'm gonna just send in the link. There we go. Okay, there we go. We are getting into it here. Season 3, we are back Thursday night, Division 1. I'm Crash McQueen. I'm, of course, actually not of course, I am joined by my new co-host and former champion, 2-time in separate divisions, 3-time in separate divisions, all separate divisions, F2, Div 2, and Div 1 this past season. That, of course, being another Australian, Elma Jacko. How are you doing today, Jacko?
Fantastic, thank you, and thanks for that great introduction. Looking forward to seeing who will be the next champion this season.
Yeah, exactly that. Now, we were kind of having a little bit of discussions prior to, and we'll leave that for a little bit here. But we'll kind of start with the track, that being the Canadian Grand Prix, Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, of course, just being taken off of the F1 calendar recently due to all the COVID nonsense going on in Canada right now, which of course is where I resign, and it sucks, but it is what it is. But what are your thoughts of this track?
Well, I have to say, it's never been a favourite of mine, but it has grown on me this past few years, and you know, with the track limits as they are, it's so tough, and I think that's why it's such a love-hate relationship many drivers have with it. Especially with the walls being as close as they are, it's so easy to slip up and end your race within seconds. So, you know, it's a tough track, and I think these guys, there will be some DNFs, there'll probably be a safety car, there'll be a lot of penalties, and we just have to see who does the best out of all of that.
Yeah, it's this one's who can stay the most consistent in the end. But a big shake-up in the teams, as well as like drivers being relegated down to Div 2, as well as retirements, and also with a brand new roster pretty much. Actually, no, I can't say that. I think we've got like 16 or 15 returning drivers. Other than that, there's 5 new drivers coming up. 5, we've got the list here, sorry. Div 2 drivers coming up are Smith Pell, Sue Wee, Hash 9211, and Super Nines. So that's 4 drivers. Valentine today is filling in for Cam as he's still dealing with an injury in the Haas. But who is your top 3 picks for Constructor Championship?
Well, the Constructors Championship looks super difficult to pick, but I think we have to give it to Williams, given that they've got the Season 1 champion and the guy who was runner-up last season, Mystic Joker, of course, the runner-up last season, and Kenny, the Season 1 champion. I gotta say, I don't see a team quite beating them, but if anyone would be on that list, it could be Mercedes, with Bacon and Jim, very strong drivers. Even looking at Racing Point with one of the few returning drivers to the same team, Random Series, being faithful there, with a new teammate Mayo, and that looks like a strong team as well, perhaps a dark horse. The only driver I think that's in the same team is Helg, but he's now got a new teammate in Smith Pell, so I don't know many of these names who have come up from Div 2 and how consistent they are in the F1. I know in F2 some of these guys are pretty quick. So there's potential as well, some extra dark horses that I hadn't thought of.
Yeah, that's very true. I didn't even think about how Impossible Bacon was coming up from Div 2 as well. Scavney comes over with a 109.131. Bacon is actually a driver coming up, so there's 5 total, and he is on the team that I've got stuck to be the Drivers' Championship, or the Constructors' Championship in the Mercedes. I just think that they're just going to have more consistency. I'm really putting a lot of stock into Gilles to win it. Hell coming in with a 110, Gilles coming in with a 109.305. Putting a lot of stock there. But you were saying before a dark horse. I don't know if you've just mentioned it, but a nice dark horse is Ferrari as well. They've got a really good squad with Scavney and Nicky, a couple of very consistent drivers there. As we're starting to get quite a few times set here. Only one driver, or two drivers, I guess, in the low 109s, but a lot in the 110s there. See Barry going into the late 110s on mediums.
You're definitely right about Ferrari being a dark horse. I mean, they are the Constructors' champions currently, so they have to apply two good drivers to replace the drivers they had last season. And Scavney, currently on pole position, albeit very early in the session. A great pick, of course.
Yeah, that's true. I guess they're defending a title that they didn't even earn. Okay, well, you know, like
the two drivers you're talking about. No, of course these guys are great. I mean, Nicky's been in since I believe day one in MidWest. So
yes,
an original member, and we've got Scavney, who of course has his own league. He's got quite a few races under his belt as well. So they've gone for experience, and I think that's quite a good shout.
Sui's next over goes 9th.
We've actually got Nicky in chat. He says, "I'm Jacko's #1 fan."
There
Thanks,
you go.
Nicky, but keep your eyes on the road.
Yeah, there you go. That's funny. But going to Kenny, I mean, the guy, he can, like, fast lap after fast lap that guy put up last season. But it's just like the consistency is something that just needs to come from the kid if he's gonna want to truly compete and find himself up there. And you know why I kind of put them too is that I don't know if he's maybe I hope he proves me wrong, but Gilles goes fastest with the only time in the 108s, but I don't know if he's gonna be able to get that consistency quite yet. I'm not sure how much stock he's throwing into this season, maybe having his eyes more on 2022 or 2021, but you know, it's a fresh season, so I mean, I don't know, he might have fixed his errors from what was season 2, and we could see him back up at the top, but he was kind of a shell of a driver from what we saw in season 1, in my opinion. And I mean, like I said, I hope the guy proves me wrong, but it's just, I mean, he wasn't the same guy.
Strange case Kenny had last season, as his teammate of course goes top. I mean, I think Mystic, if they're talking to each other during this, maybe he can elevate him a bit. I think Kenny was just a bit demoralised last season. He had no podiums after being the champion. I mean, I don't know if he was going for a meme with the fastest lap thing. I think he got some 8 out of 16, which is impressive in and of itself.
Yeah.
But as champion, it is surprising. I don't know. Maybe he found people coming in too much to deal with, quick drivers. But he's due a podium, and I think he may get that in the first couple of rounds, potentially even tonight. We have to see how his qualifying goes though, because currently in 17th with no time.
Yeah, he was going on a hot lap, but invalidated as is Super Ninas. Only 3 drivers.
Random Series just popped up to the top with a much quicker time than we've expected. I think a 108.6 is that?
Yeah, 108.6 or 108.684. Yes.
Yeah, sorry. Sometimes the purple type is difficult to see.
Yeah, especially when it's going through the trees here in Canada. It's tough to pick out. What do we got next over the line there? We got some Haas. That's Ninas. That's Valentine, so the other Haas yet to set a time.
But Elg starting a lap currently in P10.
Okay. Yolmir's into the pit. Yolmir actually just kind of has snuck into 3rd place right now. We haven't really said too much about that. He's actually kind of an underrated driver, in my opinion.
Always a solid driver. I think he had a lot of top 5s last season that sort of went under the radar.
Yeah, as well as Mailmir. That's another guy who is also somewhat of an underrated driver. He's got some really consistent qualities in the way he races. You don't find him crashing out all too often.
Yeah, Mayo with the solitary podium in Austria, I think it was last season. he deserved more. He was a very solid driver.
Helg's right now nearly 2/10 down on his initial fastest lap. That won't take too much time off. He might have lost a lot through the wall of champions there, and he comes over the line in 6th. So yeah, he did. He gained 4/10 going through the wall of champions there. Let's see, Impossible, the other, Haas, Valentine. Valentine's next over, followed by his teammate in Super Ninas. Valentine going 17th, Ninas going 15th. Who we got next? So have you used the have you used the casting settings all too much before?
Not really, no. No, I don't actually. Just finding my way around it.
Yeah, you get used to it. My suggestion, as you know, no, screw it. There's a lot of things we should have done off camera, but well, who cares? My suggestion is, you want to enable telemetry, enable lap data, and you want to go full track map, and Mailmere going 4th, improving nearly 6/10 on his time.
Here's something we should have looked at. It's the best tyre, well, the qualifying tyre used, and the best lap Gilles has currently is on the medium, which I hadn't noticed before. That could be a strategic thing, or maybe he's going to go out on softs any moment now.
Very true. I have it on fitted right now, but yeah, it'd probably be best if you stayed on best, and I can stay on fitted because that makes it easier for me to tell who's coming over the line next.
So looking at last season's qualifying performances, we've got Random Series has made 6/10 on his last season's effort, so he's put a lot of practice in.
Oh wow.
He qualified 9th last season with a 9.2, and he's already on an 8.6.
So it's only getting better. Hash came over. You go ahead.
None of the top 5 qualifiers last season are running tonight. That's quite the statistic.
Oh wow.
We
So
had Honda, Cam, J Chase, Meb, and myself in the top 5. We've got a couple of drivers quicker than some of those that I mentioned, but none quite as quick as Honda last season with an 8.0. That's going to be tough to match, but I think if anyone can,
oh my god,
have the best.
That's lights out, dude. Oh my god, dude, that guy's a freak, honestly.
Very fast, of course.
Wow. Jinnit is nearly 6/10 down, so this is going to get him real close to Random Serious. And he takes pole position here in Circuit Gilles Villeneuve.
And that would have placed him on the front row alongside Honda last season, so this is already going to lap times that could be pole position. That throws out the medium strategy for him, of course, but he was 6th, and I think it's probably safer to start on the front row if you can.
So Random Series just came over the line and he improved by 500ths, so virtually matched his initial time. Mystic Joker's next over the line, but he's only 3.5 down, and makes up yeah, not quick enough, goes second. So Jinnit throws out an absolute blistering lap. I don't know if Mystic has another set of softs saved up, but that's one fast lap from Jinnit there. What do we got? That's Sui, a Ferrari. Is that Scavney? Yeah, Scavney's coming down the casino straight here.
We've got a mid-session comment from Yolmir, who should also be concentrating on the session, but he says, "Hello guys, good night, I hope you all have a fun commentator season." Thank you, Yol. I hope you have a fun driver season.
Oh, Scavney going 4th fastest. That's a really good qualifying from him. But yeah, thank you very much, Yolmir. Good luck, best of luck. And funny enough, I don't know if it's on your screen, but on my screen his name is Orange, and he's driving a McLaren here, so.
Yeah, he certainly is. He's alongside the other LFR in Mayo. Oh, of course, Enrique is the 3rd LFR, currently in last position. Hopefully
I believe
he can move up from there. He's definitely better than that.
Yeah, for sure. I believe LFR was actually created by Enrique and Mailmere.
Ah, okay. can't exactly remember what it stands for, but I think the L is for Latino in the league that they created.
Yeah, because I think they're doing Central America or Latin America Racing League. So I don't know.
Forgive our ignorance there, boys. You'll have to let us know, and we'll talk about it a bit next week if you want.
Don't worry, you're off the hook. I'm half Latino, so I'll take all the heat. I should know.
Okay.
But Sui's next over. Can he improve off a 16th? Yes, he can. Into 12th, just missing out on the top 10. Minas is on a hot lap. Oh, it's LATAM Formula Racing. Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was Latin America. So it's actually not Spanish. So I guess I'm fine. I'm okay. We got Mystic. That's a wild Kenny. Okay, Kenny's 5/10 down here. He's gonna want it. He might just be outside.
Might take him into 7th, roughly.
Or could he go into 4th if he gets into the 108s? And he does, and into 4th place he goes. So
very
yeah.
Close with Scavney, of course. 100.
Oh.
Well, 1.5 hundred.
Who else is coming over? Helg is starting a hot lap. Pork Chops is starting his hot lap. Ninas is coming through the wall of champion here, down the pit straight. Oh, he's way down, never mind. Valentine, the teammate. Oh, Valentine's a full second down right now on his fastest lap. And invalidates through the chicane. Ouch, that's gotta hurt.
We've got Nicky next, about to approach the chicane. Nice yellow, very distinctive helmet with an Italian flag on it, so he's really getting into the swing of things at Ferrari.
Yeah.
That Italian flag colours. And improves to P8. Great lap
there we
there
go.
Nicky.
Oh, is Hannah here? Hannah is the manager. Enrique improves into 14th. Much better time from him. Takes off a 2nd and 8/10. So you probably don't know, but Hannah is Nikki's manager.
Oh, I'm well aware of that story.
Yeah. So usually we go to Hannah to see how much time Nikki's been putting in here. Hell goes over the line into 8th. This is a really quick and close qualifying order here. There's not a lot that separates.
One mistake on your lap and you're going to lose many positions.
For sure. What do we got? I think that's a Ferrari.
Unfortunately for Hannah, I have no dogs to replace Stats dogs. I know she loved putting those emojis in chat.
Yeah.
But there'll be no dog interruptions in this stream, from my end at least.
I gotcha. Yeah. I didn't notice, but Gallagher 326 with the follow. Thank you very much, my guy. Appreciate it. Or a girl. Gallagher could be your last name, to be completely fair.
True.
So.
That's true.
See, now you probably know the local hockey player from Vancouver, Brendan Gallagher, right? You've definitely heard that name in Australia.
Why would I have heard that?
Well, it's because I'm being facetious. Obviously, you would never hear that name.
Okay. I mean, my mate James probably has heard of that. He's a nice hockey fan, but I am.
Is there many hockey fans in Australia?
Oh, there's the odd hockey fan. But I don't think it's a mainstream thing.
No, definitely not. Can't imagine it. There's probably the same amount of
venues to play, but nothing famous about it or anything.
I gotcha. Impossible next over, and slightly improves into 13th. He goes. Jinnit and Mystic are actually both going on another out lap here. Scavney is next over, but 7.5 seconds down, so not obviously a time that he was putting much. He was banking on. Oh, JC Blackley's going to have to hold his time as he's invalidated. Hash improves up into 6th.
Mystic is just on 2/10 up on his own time, but that's not looking quite enough unless he can nail the last sector.
Yolmir improves into 4th. Sorry, is Mystic over next?
Mystic is approaching the final chicane right now.
Okay. Cake comes over, can improve.
Mystic goes first, but Jin is up on his time as well. I think we have a lost in translation thing because you're saying up and I say down for the same thing.
Yeah. Very true.
He's got a tow from his teammate. This could be impossible helping Gilles.
Oh.
Impossible into the pits. That's really good teamwork if that's the case.
Yeah.
But let's see what the time is.
Oh, he takes it. Wow. I think the tow had to be the difference there. Scavney improves on his time as well as on position, goes back into 4th. Yolmir, I think, is last on track, but he thinks that these drivers are still setting hot laps when he doesn't know that he's the last person to finish off his session. He's waiting for everyone to pass.
Well, I mean, he still has to do the right thing just in case. You don't want any silly penalties coming in. I think you can even get 5 place grid drops for collisions with AI in qualifying, so be careful and do the right thing.
Yeah, for sure. It's just funny thinking about how he's just letting bots drive by.
Yeah.
And says screw the final turn. And comes
there from Gallagher, by the way.
Oh, Ella Mafia, you got it. Appreciate it. We have the same full name. Yeah, Brendan Gallagher? Do you actually know?
The full name? Down to the middle name?
Wait, what did I say? Did I say Gallagher was... Wait, so you're...
I can't remember what you said.
Yeah, is Gallagher your first name or last name? But yeah, Brendan Gallagher,
probably
great.
do a run through the standings here before someone hits X, by the way.
Yeah, true. I'll go through that. But we got Jinnit taking pole on the first row. It will be Mystic Joker. Random Sirius going 3rd, followed by Scavney, a very good qualifying set by him. Yolmir in 5th, Kenny in 6th, Mayomir 7th, Hash 8th, Helg 9th, Smith Pell rounding out the top 10. I think the solo Canadian representing in the Canadian Grand Prix here. Nikki in 11th, Seaberry 12th, Cake in 13th, Impossible 14th, Sui 15th, Enrique 16th, GC Blackley 17th, Super Ninas 18th, Pork Chops 19th, actually set his time on mediums, and Valentine 20th, also setting his time on mediums. IDK about the middle, but yeah, last. Okay, last name. There we go.
So we predicted the top 3 teams in the Constructors' Championship, and each of those teams had one driver in the top 3 of the standings. So far we're looking pretty good, Crash, although we've still got 16 races to go.
Yeah, we're not too bad. I think it's Crockett, ISAA Crockett 12. Thanks for the follow. Did I pronounce your name right? Let me know. Love to stay in touch with how chat is, but if you're new to the Midwest F1 League, this is of course Season 3 Race Week 1 coming to you live from our home Grand Prix, which was voted on, I think, midway through beginning of Season 2, we voted the Canadian Grand Prix to be our home track, as this is where Isaac Rocket 12, okay, oh, it's not Crockett, it's Rocket. That makes sense. But yeah, so this is our home Grand Prix. This is where the first race happened, July 30th, 2020. All started all the way back then and has brought us here. 4 divisions we have, all on Thursday night. 4 different hosts. This is the one that we put our stock into. This is the one that gets the limelight in Twitch. Our YouTube page does host our Division 2, and we're working on getting our Division 3 casters to put that up on there. So be sure to go check us. Mid-season 1, silly. Okay, got it. So be sure to go check out our YouTube channel if you want to see all the other divisions of racing. Unfortunately, Division 4 doesn't get casted, but maybe one day we can get to that point. But anywho, Jacko, what are you predicting here? Who do you think is going to take the opening W in Canada?
Well, I actually think it's going to be our pulsator Gin. He's very strong around here. I've seen him race. He's been my teammate in another session we've had, and was very quick. I think he has the potential to beat Mystic over the season. Mystic will probably shade that, but here in Canada, I think Gin's got the edge. What do you think, Crash?
Man, I think on Mystic is just like robotic in his consistency from lap to lap, but Jinnit can sometimes have those laps where he's like a bat out of hell, and if he's able to find that consistency along with Mystic, I think that he's got this in the bag. But I think here, especially with penalties and Jinnett's problem from time to time with penalties and track limitations, to be exact, I think that's going to be the difference between him and Mystic here, as Mystic, I imagine, is just going to be able to hold him off. As for our second podium, I mean, Random Serious as well. He can find himself into a little bit of troubles, but he's also got that crazy pace lap to lap. So I'm putting my stock in him for the final podium position. But as well as I can finish my thought is for hardest charger. Going down the order, I've got my eyes on Enrique. That guy knows how to pull one of those out of his ass from time to time here, and I think the qualifying with down at 16th is not what he was hoping for, and I think he's going to improve as the race goes on. But who's your final podium as well as hardest charger here?
I think Random Serious, if he can keep it pacing the right way, Random Serious is looking strong for a podium. But you can never count out any of those next three guys, I think, potentially even down to 8. I'm not sure if anyone else can really pull it out, but in terms of hardest charger, I'm looking at Pork Chops. You can really never count that man out. From the last row, you know, I'm pretty sure he'll finish the race, and that's usually enough to promote him quite a few positions. We've also got Cake Thomas out of position. I think he should be higher than that, 13th. Also on the mediums, as is C. Barry, his teammate. So watch out for those guys on mediums. Everyone in the top 11 on softs, as well as 18th Super Ninas, but the rest of them on mediums.
No, I'm gonna say I want to see Kenny get more aggressive here. I want to see him really kind of
keep his front wing.
but keep his front wing. Yes, I really want to see that season 1 Kenny, where he, even though he was getting all these track limitation penalties, he was still like finishing in second, first, third, or whatever, and the penalties were throwing him down in the end. But I'd rather take that that Kenny from the Kenny that we had in season 2. That's my final thought. Do you want to take it away for the opening Grand Prix here?
I will take that honour. Alright, here we go, guys. This is what we've been waiting for a few weeks. I don't see any lights yet, but hopefully they'll come on very soon. Here they go. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Off we go for season 3. It looks like Jin got a really good start and should maintain the lead. Does he pull across in front of Mystic? Not really, but you know, there was no challenge into turn 1 and turn 2, and Jin makes a clean start. Side by side between, looks like, I couldn't even tell actually, was that Scavney and Yo for P4?
Yes. I'm getting the glitch on the scoreboard here, but I can see Kenny fighting with Scavney just in behind there. Yolmir's just ahead, and okay, this fixed itself now. But I'll bring it back up and see the position changes early on here. It's actually stayed fairly clean. No one's really gained a massive amount of positions. The two Red Bulls are battling in the back of the pack there for 12th place. Seaberry gets the better of it in the end. Mailmere looking at a move on the inside line here, the outside, tries to send it around the outside, but really good defending from Smith Pell. Nicky kind of pokes back a little bit, but can't get the position in the end. Impossible Bacon loses a couple of spots. Cake Thomas is still
side by side.
Yeah, the two Red Bulls are still trying to work each other here. Cake has got the pace down the Casino straight and into the wall of champion chicane. He goes with 12th place. Jeanette setting an early fastest lap. But
damage to Enrique. I can see damage to an end plate on the right side, I believe.
Ooh.
That's unfortunate on the first lap of the season.
Locks up into turn 1 as well. Super Ninas putting a lot of pressure down the inside line. Oh, Honda comes and joins the chat. Hey dude, thanks for stopping by. And Super Ninas able to get the move on Enrique into 16th.
So that's a really tough spot for Enrique to be in on the medium tyre with damage. You don't know whether he's got another set of those or not, depending on what he chose pre-race, but that's really a poor position to be in. You don't want to be on hards around this track, that's for sure. He might have to convert to a 2-stop.
Ooh, so Cake actually gets real up close and personal with Helg there going into the chicane of 8 and 9, and doesn't really push him off track, but Helg opts to take the long way around and fighting down with position of the other Red Bull teammate, Seam Barry, as Helg's kind of moved down the grid a little bit, and it looks like he doesn't have the straight line speed. Seaberry has got the position now, and Helg's going to have to slot in behind going into the chicane. And as well as he's got Sui working up and behind him here, so not the start Helg was hoping for.
got a couple of comments there from Honda, who of course was a great competitor last season, retired mid-season. And that's the same story for me there, Honda. I also retired at the end of last season. I thought, who's the best teammate for season 3? And it was obvious, it's Crash.
Oh, come on.
Good to have you in chat though, Honda.
Oh no, we've lost Cake Thomas. Cake spun out,
no.
and he's down the order. He's worked his way up into, I believe, 11th at one point, and just a yellow flag through Sector 2, nothing quite yet. That clears up. We're still racing here in Canada. Gilles has actually nearly opened up the gap to a second between himself and Mystic Joker.
The key point being that he hasn't quite managed that, so now it will be a bit easier for Mystic to keep up if he wasn't quite on pace, or to conserve fuel potentially, or tyres or ERS if he wasn't necessarily struggling. But Cake, I can't quite tell if he has any damage. I wish we had telemetry to tell us that, but it looks alright from what I could tell. I can't be certain though.
Cake, I'll go down on him for a second there. I see both ends of his wing. Usually that's the first thing to go, and there you go, Gilles to win it.
Key thing, yeah.
Already picking up a penalty. It's like I know the league. We got the AlphaTauris.
I didn't expect him to be the first to get a penalty, but yeah,
very true. This early.
Super hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, the tactic that worked for me quite well last season was to, if I was going to get any penalties, try and get them late, because if a safety car comes out, you don't want to be at that stage already with penalties that will drop you down the order when everyone's close. And there's a second penalty, as we say, C. Barry. Lap 4 only, guys, at this rate.
Yeah.
10 penalties, it's not good. You got to calm that down, boys.
You don't even know. Before, they didn't even track penalties in the game, so I was having to do it on a separate sheet on my computer. And it was a mess. I'd try and keep up with it. Every penalty I'd be like, oh, we're putting it down, and then adding it up and then trying to minus it with every pit stop. But I just I'm so happy that they added it in as a feature. It saves so much time for me. Super Ninaz is working on JC Blackley here. He's got the position. JC is going to try and defend, outbreaks him down into turn 1. Ninaz forced to slot back into 15th place. Nice little defense from Blackley going down the inside line in defense. Yolmir's staying close to Random Series. He's kind of fallen out behind Mystic Joker here. So DRS to Yolmir, as well as Scavney has still stayed close. Kenny's just a second and a half out, so he's going to try and get himself back into DRS range, but he's really pushing. Goes a little bit wonky coming through turn 9, and now Hash has the option for the inside line here in turn 10. The hairpin goes down the inside. Kenny sends it all the way around the outside and gets a really good launch out and is able to hold the position.
The lead Crash. It's 110. Mystic pulled out of a move into the chicane, but he is right there like a shark looming behind the Mercedes with B1. Not going to be close enough into the first complex, but I think he's just biding his time at this point. He knows he's got a 3-second advantage, technically. As we see another penalty creeping up, only on lap 6. This is for Swee this time in the Renault. I think we may have had our first pit stop of the season as well, with Enrique dropping back. Although, that gap... Yeah, he must have pitted. Let's have a look. Stops. One stop, yes. McLaren with the first stop of the season for Enrique.
Oh, Yolmir takes a really poor line out of turn 7, is now under pressure from Scavney, as well as he's lost DRS to Random Series ahead. And Random Series has nearly worked himself back within DRS to Mystic Joker. So we're going to have to keep an eye out on Scavney and Yolmir in for a little battle for 4th place going into the Wall of Champions chicane. Scavney's getting a really good run and makes the pass halfway down the casino straight. Gets the move and is into 4th place now.
No, Jin's entered the pit lane for an aggressive strategy, and he's ended up with a 5-second penalty for speeding. So that's not going to help his cause. But the undercut, I don't know if this is a good idea. The pack is really close to him. He can come out right towards the bottom of the top 10. If not, yeah, he's outside the top 10 already. So this is not working out for the pole sitter, I don't think. Yol also in the pit lane. So Jin ends up behind Yol. So see a little service penalty there. Let's have a look.
Yeah, there's a lot of traffic that Jin's going to have to try and work himself through.
He still has 8 seconds, yet he was overtaken by Yol in the pits.
Oh, I think Smith Pell spun out. Yeah, same spot as Cake Thomas as well. And the other Honda-powered car.
Sorry, Crash, but something's happened to Jin other than... Okay, it must have been either a slow pit stop with a release time, or he's changed the wing, because he lost track position as well as took the 5-second penalty.
Oh, yeah, he lost a position to Yolmir.
That's right. He's already made one move. I think it was on pork chops on the old tyres. So he'll be trying to come back through the field, hopefully not too aggressively. Hopefully he's not too angry with this, but looks like some bad luck has befallen the pole sitter already.
Ninas gets a move on JC Blackley right before the Wall of Champions chicane, but takes a really bad line going through it, and that brought JC right back into it, but DRS bailed Super out, and now he's on some old softs. Now he's going to be under pressure here from a couple of drivers who are sporting mediums right now.
A big train of drivers from Super back to, looks like even Yolmir, with less than 1 second gaps, so it could get a bit feisty, and it'll be really tough for Jin to come through that pack as he approaches the back of Yol.
C. Barry actually overtakes Nicky on one of the lesser potentialed areas of overtake. Oh, and it's actually Helg working on Nicky as well, so Nicky really... Oh, he's got damage to the front, his front right side of his wing there, so he's losing some major time here as Helg was able to...
Almost 3 wide here on the exit of the hairpin there as Valentine went for a move on Bacon, and Yol's going between them on the long straight. This could be a bit dicey. Yeah, he pulls out of it, smart man.
All 3 of them had DRS as well, so it was mainly just a drag race down, but
bailed out of that. Yeah, probably avoiding the damage. He was a really good run to his teammate though on Yol, and does he make it down the inside? A little bit of contact, but there was enough room. I think we've still got the McLaren on the inside. Where'd Random come out in all of that? He did it.
Just in behind, and Yolmir splits him, so Yolmir gets the undercut on Random Series. Mystics.
Look at the tyres as well, because Random is on another set of softs. So this is an interesting strategy. Let's bring up the tyres.
Definitely going for he has to go for a 2-stop strategy. Him coming out behind.
I think all these guys are on 2 stops, but this is a different variation on it with the soft tyre. The only one that we've seen fit for soft so far is Random.
So now, how many laps could do medium tires last here? Valentine got bumped by Yolmir a little bit there, but yeah, how many laps do you reckon medium tires last?
I mean, you can get them a good 20-something laps, but the problem is they'll drop off a bit, and the pit transit is much shorter than many tracks we have on the calendar, so the 2-stop becomes one of the more competitive strategies. So, I mean, the hard's pretty slow around here as well, so I think most people will 2-stop. Yeah, that's just the nature of the track. Somewhere like Silverstone, as who's that Scavney on the outside? Cool, the overcut almost working there on the Random Series, but he's the second driver to come out on softs for a second stint. So race on for the podium between those 2 guys.
Mystic just came out on mediums, and he was able to carry enough pace to stay 3 positions ahead of Jinnit Twinnet. It looks like Jinnit's got JC Blackley under pressure here, and he's got the position JC back down into 8th. Jinnit, but he takes a really bad line out, and some oversteer from Super Ninas throws a little bit of a wrench into everyone's plan here. Yolmir working on JC Blackley, bumps the back of Jinnit. Jinnit's able to slow the car down enough as he's trying to as well work on Super Ninas as he comes through the turn. Nicky's leading the whole charge here. Kenny loses the position all the way up the top for the lead in the race to Mayomir, but this is like... This is crazy close, man. Oh, in their pit. Sorry, thank you. But now Nicky's into the pit.
Oh, Super hits the wall. Does he have damage? It's a virtual safety car.
Oh, what happened?
That'll help the guys in the pits currently with a bit of time. I can't tell if there's wing damage. yes, there is massive wing damage to the right side of the Haas for Super Ninas. He hit the wall of champions. So unfortunate for him. Mystic has had the best strategy here for sure. He's in the box seat, no doubt about it. The only guy who was close prior to pit stop phase was Gin, and he's had some issues, as well as the fact that Mystic has come out with fresher tyres, didn't have to come through any of that traffic as the first safety car ends. So Mystic looking really good at this point. 5-second gap back to the car behind him. That car has yet to pit as well though. With the one car in front yet to pit, let's see if he can dispatch of that cleanly. See Barry, both of these guys known for being clean, so shouldn't be any worries here. DRS will be open on this straight. And yeah, it looks like the Williams driver is on his way to a good result, barring all like safety cars. Anything could happen obviously, but
Yeah,
he's in the
yeah.
box seat. And of course Williams, with no podiums last season, could start this season with a victory potentially.
Man, this is a crazy ass race to start the whole thing, man. Like the amount of passes and whatnot. There's just 3 passes down the casino straight right there. And now we got Super Ninas into the pit. Ninas got overtaken by 3 cars coming out of turn 10. So he's definitely...
he's got to fix that wing, which he's doing currently. Looks like he's putting mediums on, which, no, he could get to the end of the race with that. So not all his losses with the Haas driver, but, I mean, it's not the ideal strategy to be on both tyres for that long, I don't think.
Now, slowly but surely, Pork Chops has chipped himself up into 13th place, taking 6 positions, but Valentine has taken a whopping 11 spots and has found himself up into the top 10 in 9th place to be exact. But he's still yet to pit.
Very early, if we remember. So those 3 guys from 7th to 9th are on a different strategy again, as well as Bacon, it looks like. Wait,
Ooh.
so they haven't pitted yet, have they?
No, not at all.
Yeah, okay, so those guys yet to pit. That will take the order up quite a bit. Has Pork Chops pit? No. Okay, so hardest charger is still all up in the air, I'd say, at this stage.
Yeah. A lovely move from Hash down the inside line of turn 10. The 2 drivers, Hash and Valentine, drag racing down the casino straight. Hash has the better racing line coming into the turn. But yeah, Jin's got some major penalties already. And now the 2 Alfa Romeo teammates, Hash and JC Blackley, getting into it into turn 1. Both forced into a really poor racing line. That's brought Valentine back into it. And we still have that nice little conga line running from nearly 7th all the way down to 13th.
So in net position order, it does look like Hash has worked his way up into the top 5, which is a good effort by him. I know he's a very solid driver from experience racing him, so yeah, this guy, no slouch, and potentially a dark horse for that last podium position if Scavney and Randall get into it a bit, especially as they are on a different strategy. May or may not compromise them at the end of the race.
Ooh, something must have happened to Impossible Bacon there. He lost 2 quick positions to Meomir and Kenny. And now Pork Chops.
Those guys are on fresh mediums as opposed to his 12-lap old mediums, so it could be just tyre wear difference.
Yolmir picking up a penalty. Seabury finally into the pit for his first stop. Now, just from what I remember, hards are just not the way to go here, right? You just can't get the pace.
Ah, that's right. Yeah, I tried it last season. Some early damage, and it was just awful. Oh, we got a spin. Valentine,
yeah.
Round. Yeah, there was no pace on those hards, and I think these guys have figured that out pretty quickly, and no one's used hards yet, to my knowledge.
Yeah,
I've got to correct myself, by the way. In qualifying, I said only 2 guys returned to the same team they had last season. I completely omitted Kenny, of course, in the Williams. Sorry about that, Kenny.
Yes. I don't even. He's the only one that I know. Who's the other guys?
Yeah, Held, in
oh, Held. Yep.
And there was one other one. Random Series, of course.
Okay. Yep. Good eye.
There's always a place for loyalty, so that's a respect plus 1 for those 3 guys.
Yeah.
Although Kenny didn't choose that, did he?
No. Kenny got drafted back to the Williams.
That's right.
Claire likes him. Claire likes younger boys. So Kenny was a perfect fit. He's got Impossible Bacon working Or no, actually, sorry, getting overtaken by Helg, because Helg's on some fresh mediums, and those old mediums with possible bacon is starting to hurt him. Kenny working on Mailmere going down the inside line. Gets the move done, and he's got himself back into 8th place with 6 seconds worth of penalties. He gets onto the grass a little bit, and that kind of brought Mailmere back ever so slightly, but not close enough. Scavney's having a really good race here, but they still need to pit. Ran up Sirius and Scavney.
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone will pit again, even Mystic. I think we've even got Honda in the comments saying he thinks Mystic will pit again as well for softs. Of course, the fastest lap is worth points in this league, so that is something he'll look at. Honda also saying that he wants to come in reserve for a race with a smiley face, so that'll be something to watch out for if he does. You know how fast that man is with, what was it, 8 victories last season? So.
Yeah, pretty much. Man, like Mystic was so close on quite a few of those. You were up there as well. He's just like, Honda just had the racecraft to win them all. And
yeah,
Torque
you can tell
and
when
Valentine.
someone is playing with people, and I think Honda was in that boat.
Oh God.
Alright, well, back to the action. We've got a battle starting to arise here between Scavney and Yolmir. He's just caught up to within 1 second, of course, on both fresher and softer tyres. Also with 3 seconds in hand due to penalties. So it looks like Scavney is a net podium at the moment, but Yolmir with the position on track.
Sui got some major oversteer coming out of turn 2, and with that, Super Ninas was able to overtake kind of into turn 3/4, so Ninas back up into 13th after dealing with that wing damage earlier on. Kenny is trying to get Cake Thomas here. Cake is on 15 lap old mediums, and Kenny's got a really good launch out of 10, and he's going to pass Cake halfway down the casino straight. Mailmere looking to as well, but he's a little bit too far out. Maybe a move into turn 1 for Mailmere, but it's actually Cake into the pit, so he doesn't have to sweat to try and get that move done. Scavney is really close onto Yolmir now, but Yolmir's on those mediums, Scavney's on those softs, and there's a good amount of laps being thrown into both of these tires here, so it's going to be a rough go. McLaren, I think that's Enrique. Yeah, it's Enrique.
Yeah, it is.
Wow, you could see how much he was fighting the heat of those tires there.
I don't know if you saw that on the stream, but there was a marshal standing on the wall waving a yellow flag at that. That was quite funny.
Oh no, I didn't catch that.
Oh, he's still struggling for tyre temperature. Hopefully he can keep it off the wall. Might we see him in the pits here, you think, Crash? Damage?
Yeah, he's got a little bit of damage to the front right side from what I remember.
Yeah, he's coming in.
Sui's lost a couple of positions quick, but you go ahead. Oh,
so,
ouch.
Enrique is the first driver lapped of the season. That's not the way you want to start, but staying in the race is also going to be something that you need to do, because there's points for everyone, and every point could be really helpful for the team and for the driver himself. So, of course, we've got Yolmir, his teammate, in 3rd position on net. Still 3rd, actually, because penalties in both directions for him. We've got to point out here that Gilles has 14 seconds of penalties, and that will put him down somewhere around 8th at this point. So, I mean, he's got to pray there's no safety cars at this point, because that will absolutely destroy him. He has to make some serious time up to keep on the podium, if even a top 5. So we have to watch those gaps, and also note that we've got a serious battle for the podium here, because that means Yol, Scavney, Random, potentially Hash and Kenny, even Mayama have chances here, depending on how the rest of the race goes. Although we're looking at Hash and Kenny with some penalties of themselves. So probably Yol, Scavney and Random are our 3 guys to look at for the podium, other than Mystic, of course. Got more analysis coming in here from Honda, saying it'll be close when Jin pits earlier to the mediums, not counting penalties, of course. Yeah, he's right about that for sure, but I think that the penalties it's going to change everyone's mindset as well. Like, let's say Gin crosses the line first, Mystic will know. Well, you know, he can see the penalties, as can all the other drivers. So it won't necessarily be an important thing to look for. Of course, the 5 seconds will be served in the pit stop if Gin does pit again. So he'd be struggling to make any positions. He has to hold position at this point.
For sure. I just had a thought. So this is a shortened season, which I'm not sure. I think we mentioned at one point, but it's a 12-week season. So each week is more important than last season was from week to week and point to point, as there's just not as many opportunities to get points. And the relegation battle, like we kind of mentioned a little bit earlier, is going to be really intense this year. So even if you don't feel like you're going to be in that relegation battle, I think just still finishing every race and putting in as much like effort to get as many positions each race is going to be huge, because you don't know what could happen with the shortened season in the end. But Mayomir gets a pass on Kenny. Kenny's going to look to come right back. It's a really good launch. And has got the outside line into turn 1. He's got the full car ahead and does a good job gaining back 7th place from Mayomir. But what says
right
you?
About finishing races, by the way.
Yeah.
Like, let's say you're 2 laps down, 2 laps behind, even 19th place. Early in the race. At this point, you still have the opportunity to score, 6 or 7 points, because 1 point for last place, 5 points for the fastest lap. If you pit on the second last lap, you've always got that opportunity. Someone could crash out, you never know, and all of a sudden you find yourself with 7 points, and that could be the difference between relegation and staying in the top flight. It could be the difference between first and second in the championship. You just never know, and you can't risk not picking up points early in the season.
Especially, 100%. Especially this season now, Cake Thomas getting the pass into 12th place ahead of Ninas there. But especially this season now, teams are so close and drivers are so close. Scavney able to get the job done on Yolmir. Yeah, wow. What do you think?
Slowed Yol on the exit, and Random Sirius is now back into this fight. He had fallen just outside of DRS, I believe. But now he's looking at the back of the McLaren. And Jin's now up to 17 seconds of penalties. This is heartbreaking.
Wow.
Front row, obviously, at pole position, and it's just not panning out the way he wanted. Of course, that's 2 poles in a row in Division 1 for Jin. We should mention that, because last season
Good point.
he get pole in Abu Dhabi. So it's just falling apart in the race, unfortunately, for the British driver.
So Mayomir is actually rocking above 90% ERS here. It's as if he hasn't even used it, or the overtake button at all. It's a broken button.
Well, that'll certainly come in handy if he needs to deploy it on someone.
Yeah, sometime.
In front of him.
Yeah, with Kenny picking up a penalty.
Is this a glitch or something? Because it's not going down very fast. It's recharging super fast.
Yeah. Random Series got a really good run out of turn 10. He's looking at the inside line, but I think he's actually doing that to slow himself down a little bit. Doesn't want to get too close into the wall of champion chicane. Mayomir gets a much better run out. I think these 12-lap old softs are starting to fight Random Series a little bit. Do you think? I think it's probably about time he's got to chalk it up and throw to the mediums. Go to the mediums now.
He should already have fitted, as should Scavney.
Yeah.
I guess they've got to look at where they're going to fall out on track. Let's see. They're going to be probably 10th at region. So
I think they'll be down a little bit farther. Actually,
14, 15 seconds off the lead. It's a quick transit here, remember?
Yeah.
I think they'll come out in that gap between Hogan and Seabarrow, and I think it's wise of them to pit right now, because they need to be on those mediums, and if these tyres are not giving them the grip they want, then it's time to pit. However, both of them without penalties, so they know what they're doing.
Oh,
Smith
rain.
And Mystic also. That could be a reason.
There you go. The rain has hit us here.
This puts Yol in a position where he's probably looking to stay out, and he's in the best position at this point for second place. He needs to just outlast these guys, stay with Scavney, not pick up any more penalties, and he's in a good position. Because these guys may have to pit, depending on how quickly the rain comes down. I didn't even know this was on the forecast.
No, I had no idea. That's something we got to remind one of the guys to do. Usually they'll send it to one of us or me or into a chat for us to see. So yeah, We had no idea that rain was to come here. That makes complete sense why these guys didn't come in yet. But still, I think it would have been better for them to go to soft mediums instead of soft softs, because now they're really struggling here. But
So
maybe
from
they thought that it was coming
perspective,
sooner. Sorry, but yeah.
He needs to keep Yol behind. He needs to make sure those tyres don't, go off. I mean, in the rain, they won't go off as quickly, but a puncture would be disastrous. He needs to make those tyres last until the time that he can pit for the intermediate tyres while not letting Yol through. And I think that's why he made that move, which was key. But, Yol is in the best position here despite having that 3-second penalty.
Very true, yes. Hash has gotten himself really close to Random Series as well. DRS is still open.
When we called Hash for that outside chance. Ooh, side by side with Scavney and Yol. I think Scavney got a bit sideways. And there goes Yol, uncorked from a bottle, and, this is the time for him to potentially make that 3-second gap.
Oh, Random Series, hit the back of Hash and spun out ever so slightly around turn 1 and has lost himself about 3.5 seconds now, and he's got Mailmere right in behind, as well as the battle with Kenny.
Did we see if Hash lost any time? He looks pretty okay at this point. In fact, rapidly closing on the Ferrari of Scavney, who must be in tyre trouble at this stage. Yeah, those two guys on softs are struggling. Well, not the only two, but the two that we had highest.
So Random Series lets his teammate go through, and he just is able to pull away so much quicker out of the turn. And he's going to maybe try and hold up Kenny ever so slightly.
Well, Kenny's got the second most penalties here. He's got 12 seconds. It's not looking too flash for the second Williams driver. But, in saying that, this podium battle is now completely up in the air. Oh, there's side by side, there's Random. He's coming into the pits. Does he go for the inters here?
Is it
Probably
wet enough?
a bit early, but he's going to have to, surely,
Yeah.
otherwise he has to make 2 stops. There'll be 11 laps to go, so yeah, they are the inters for the racing point.
First car, he's kind of the guinea pig here. I wonder if
You gotta
he's in
watch
communication
his,
with his
splits.
teammate. See, Barry
Well,
actually
hopefully,
throws
yeah.
on mediums. A fresh set of mediums goes see Barry.
I don't know if that's a mistake. Well, let's see what grip Random has coming out of the pits. He's come out in 12th place behind the Haas, so super. And through this chicane, perhaps a little bit slower still, so not quite optimal yet, I don't think.
It looks like it's coming down a little harder now, though.
Yeah, so this will be the right tyre. I mean, it's definitely the right tyre to choose coming in, but it's not the right lap. Although he probably had to pit at that point. DRS is still enabled, that's always a good sign that it's too dry. But there are some slick drivers slipping around now as Super snakes it out of that middle chicane there. But unfortunately for Random, he's been overtaken by Blackley. Yeah, he's chirping the tyres, they're locking up. This looks quite tough for, in fact, everyone at this stage. A transition sort of period at the moment.
Yeah, nothing's perfect quite yet. Now we see a couple of drivers into the pit. Helg and Scavney, let's see what they're going to go for here. See Barry, like I said earlier, on those mediums. Scavney going on to the mediums as well. And Helg onto the inters. Okay, so this is where it gets really interesting.
Oh. Okay, so Ferrari are stacking. Unfortunately for Nicky, going to lose a little bit of time. Oh, actually a lot of time. They took so long to get ready for him then. Onto the intermediate tyres he goes.
So there's it's 50-50 right now with guys who throw on mediums or guys who throw on inters.
Well, let's see what Mystic does. He's approaching the pit entrance now from the lead. He's got a massive lead, 9 seconds plus 17 of penalties. He's going to enter the pits now. It's definitely going to be for inters.
Oh yeah, it's inters time here. Random Sirius was able to easily overtake Ninas and Blackley in sector 1.
Renault stacking, that's going to hurt Sui a lot. He might go down a lap here. Intermediate tyres for the leader, as expected. I don't see where Sui went. He's a lap down now. I believe Mystic and Sui are related, actually. We need to get that confirmed, but
Oh, really?
Two drivers both in the pits at the same time, yes.
Okay, so these drivers that pitted for mediums are going to be...
Gilles has made, I can only imagine, a slight mistake here, unless my monitors are screwed here, but it looks like he's on
mediums. Yeah.
Okay, who's on mediums? We've got Gilles is the highest, having just pitted. I don't like that. Kenny's coming into the pits now to remove them. We've got Blackley, Super, both pitting now.
Valentine's on softs.
Yeah, I don't know about those choices for the Slicks boys.
No.
That could either be... Well, it could be any of... Oh, no, Jin's lost it into the wall. We've got damage. Come on, Gilles, you just got to make it back to the pits. Get any points you can, because we need this to be a title fight between someone and Mystic.
Yeah.
Even if it's not a podium tonight, he needs to get as many points as he can. Damage limitation. Y'all can see second place though on the road. And he's currently in net second position as well with penalties, I believe, unless he's got more since I looked. Oh, he has actually. Okay. It's actually Hash looking at second place right now. So the man who was in 8th when I think we first talked about who's going to be on the podium has really shown some consistency in lap time and decision making, and he's looking good for a podium.
We got to keep an eye on how.
First outing in Div 1?
No. He spared last year, I believe. I think in the last race of the year.
Oh, but what a fantastic way it would be to start his season.
No, but he's a good driver. He is a good driver.
I know.
So I don't know why you're talking shit. He's a good driver.
I'm like, oh man, you put words in my mouth, man. I know Hash. He's been racing me in on other leagues as well, and he's a tough customer. I know that. Random's actually fallen back from 2nd and 3rd. So of course that was because of the contact with Hash back before the last pit stop phase. But also looking for a good result here tonight.
Still no penalties, so he's just got to try and close the gap and hope for a mistake from Hash. He's one of the 3 drivers that have kept it clean through this entire race, penalty-wise here.
And a safety car at this point would put Random and Smithville in an imaginable, fantastic positions to gain points. But I don't know. We haven't seen a safety car tonight, which does surprise me.
Yeah, for sure. Safety car definitely would help Helg as well. He's not too far outside of a podium, but he's got 9 seconds. 9 seconds of penalties. Yeah. I see that. I see it.
So what's happening here with Gilles? He has made his pit stop. I imagine he's changed his wing. He's still got 15 seconds of penalties, but he's on the correct tyre now. Let's see where he's going to come out.
It's okay. The driver behind has 18 seconds worth of penalties.
Seconds, of
yeah, so he's fine.
Oh, there's Pork Chops out of the pits next to him. So if we add 15 to 43, we can end up with 58 seconds behind the leader. That'll put him in 11th place, but then we've got to take into account other penalties. So he could still be looking at around P8, which is a lot better than DNF. So staying in the race is going to be beneficial for the Mercedes man.
For sure. Something that's rewarded here. Nicky picking up a penalty as well. So yeah, there's so much math going on here that there's no point. But Hash is actually putting in some really good times here, and his goal is to stay within 3 seconds of Yolmir to get 2nd place.
Oh, but not anymore. It's actually on an even penalties between those two guys.
Oh.
6 seconds.
That's commentator's curse.
Staying within 3 seconds is still a valid idea, because he may get another penalty. So, you got to weigh that up.
Scavney spun out.
Oh no.
Yeah, coming out of turn 9, and he's faced the complete wrong way.
Mediums.
Oh, what?
It was looking so good. Virtual safety car as well, but it was looking so good for Scavney, looking at potentially a podium just, maybe 10 laps ago even. But it's all fallen apart for the Ferrari man. That's really unfortunate. Ferrari, of course, trying to defend the Constructors' title, now in 10th and 16th.
So, if I were to tell you Mercedes had the fastest lap of the race, you'd instantly go to Jinnit to win it, right?
No, Impossible Bacon, of course.
Yeah, Impossible Bacon has got the fastest lap of the race as it stands right now, and, well, as it stands for the rest of this race, because no one's going to be able to touch him with the rain. So,
of course.
You can chalk that up. Yeah. But man, the penalties are crazy. Enrique actually has a drive-through penalty. Oh, wow, three guys got hit.
Four.
Yeah, three others hit.
Impossible, Barry, and Enrique. And interesting choice here by Scavney. He's gone for another slick tyre. He's gone for softs to end this race. So perhaps they didn't bring any injuries?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they...
I
think Ferrari only had one set of inters and they put it on Nicky's car.
Oh no. But Nicky looking good for top 10 here. No, Smith Pell is not within striking range of penalties, so it's a straight fight between Nicky and JC for the final place in the top 10, although there is a bit of a gap between them at the moment. We'll see if JC can close that down. Also in the Alfa Romeo, also another car powered by Ferrari.
So Helg got 1 point, sorry, did get overtaken by Maomir for 5th place, but I didn't catch that. And Helg is actually sitting on 12 seconds worth of penalties now, so he's up the 4th car into the double digits of penalties here. So, oh, DRS is enabled.
Ah, so potentially that fast lap isn't as safe as we thought because Scavney is on soft tyres. Still on the same piece of track as Hash, but unfortunately a lap back now.
The Mystic Joker should pit here and throw on some softs.
Must be a driver saving their drive.
Oh. Okay, Hash and... No, Hash actually stays out. Yul comes into the pit.
Oh,
Hash takes a big risk. Random series into the pit. So now risks are starting to come into play here. Is it worth switching to slicks?
I don't know. Who do you think's the one taking the risk here? There's 4 laps to go at the point when Yul pitted. So he has to make that gap back up. He's only lost 1 position on track. Presumably he'll escape from the drivers right behind him, such as Mayo. But he had a 2-second gap, did he not, over Hash? And now he's 14 seconds back. We'll have to see how that pans out. But I think staying out might be the right shout with only 3 laps to go. Oh
no, I completely agree. Yeah, just stick it out here. But I think it's random series. He was down in 4th. He's going to get that position back on Helg, as Helg did not pit, and he's got major penalties. So, and he's got a really good shot now to take fastest lap, just random series. So he's looking to move back up. Jin pits. So, of course, the commentator's curse, I opened my mouth too soon, and now fastest lap is back up in the air.
Oh, where's the yellow flag for? I could not tell who that was for. Hash is pitting though, so presumably this is now going to be relatively simple for Yul to be in Q2. I think soft compound tires being thrown on.
I think Hash should have stayed out, man. I really do.
I agree.
I think
let's see what... Okay, Mystic is on the soft as well, so there's no potential for a shock victory change, but...
Okay.
Okay, let's look at what tyre everyone's on. So the only intermediates left are in fact C. Barry and Enrique. So, well...
Everyone's coming to pit.
Everyone must have pitted in the last lap or two, yeah.
I'm surprised that we didn't see someone take a risk.
Well, I think the point being that the pit transit is so short around here that it probably was the right call. I don't know. It depends.
Yeah, but where are your cojones, man?
Cojones versus brain cells.
No, it's, yeah.
I think these guys know what they're doing, and Jeff, of course, Jeff always knows exactly what the right strategy is. We always trust Jeff, do we not?
To be fair, but not Stat didn't when he got that podium in Brazil, when he went like.
I was joking about Jeff.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, honestly, you know, he, in a way, he does. They try and calculate it, but he is an idiot. But Stat had the cojones back in Brazil. I think it was Div 2. And back all the way back in Season 1, yeah. Hell gets an overtake on Kenny. Kenny's going to look to try and come back into turn 1 here. Gets a good run out of the champion chicane. 2 full laps to go here. Actually, not even. Mystic Joker's already 3/4 of the way done his lap. So 1.5 full laps to go.
Random Spirits is not quite close enough to Hash to steal the last podium position on penalties, so it looks like we've got Mystic, Yol and Hash as the podium for the moment. But there is a slight possibility that if Random Spirits is closing quick enough, he could take that position from Hash. Bit of what's that gap. 6 seconds is the penalties in difference between the two drivers, and it looks like 7.5 seconds between them on track.
Hardest Charger right now stands with JC Blackley. And I believe if he does get Hardest Charger, it will be his first time in the booth. But Hash actually has 5 positions gained, and he's closing the gap to Yolmir. He's putting out some really good lap times here. He was just at 3 seconds, but it's forever decreasing.
See, Barry's just losing out so much time. He's still on the intermediate tyres, and he's falling into 18th at this point. Just been lapped by 2nd place and 3rd place, lost out to Valentine. So I think if we look at the idea of staying out on intermediates, it probably wasn't the best choice.
But Mystic Joker is going to come over the line with the Race Week 1 win, and actually goes fastest lap as well coming over.
Ooh, that could be key.
Hash has caught Yolmir. I wonder if Yolmir had some damage. But they're racing down the straight. Hash is just right in behind. Yolmir had DRS on the car ahead, and that's what's bailed him out here. Getting DRS down the line. Yolmir comes over the line 2nd. Hash 3rd. Random Series is going to have to be content with 4th.
Penalty right at the end. It wouldn't have been enough though.
Oh no.
Yeah, Yol was in front of that lapped car prior to that action we saw at the end, so something must have happened.
And now the position changes are moving throughout. Oh, and it's actually Cake Thomas moving up 7 spots as the race finishes. Mystic Joker is going to get fastest lap. Smith Pell is the final over the line here, coming down the pit straight as the rain once again comes out again, actually. I'll message in for interviews. If you want to go through the finishing order there, I'll get the Hardest Charger as well.
Okay, just loading still at this point. Well, there it is, victory for Williams. For, I believe the first time at least since Season 1. I'm not sure who was a Season 1 driver for Williams, but it's Mystic with
Nicky.
the first victory of the season in Season 1.
Yeah, it was.
Did they win? Or did they win?
No. No. Okay. Oh, sorry. Oh, you didn't. Oh, okay, whatever. I'm an idiot. Go ahead.
So, Mystic, I believe, not only wins the race, not only with fast lap, but was he the only driver to not grab a penalty? Yes. So, maximum points, maximum pride as well for Mystic Joker. We've got Yol with a fantastic podium, 2nd place, and Hash as well. Very close behind. Then we've got both racing points looking strong in the Teams Championship. Random Series leading them with Mayo in 5th. Cake Thomas making up quite a few positions into 6th. Gin unfortunately falling back very close to the fastest lap though, into 7th, but definitely salvaging some good points for his own championship. Helg in 8th, JC Blackley in 9th, Kenny in the top 10 to start the season, Nicky, his old teammate, in 11th. Smith Pell, Impossible Bacon and Scavney, that's disappointing from Scavney, from 4th on the grid to 14th, probably with the wrong strategy there. Swee, Valentine, C. Barry, Super Ninas, Pork Chops, and Enrique rounding out the field with everybody finishing the race So congratulations to everyone on toughing it out, not crashing too heavily at least, and wow, 35 laps of Canada, no safety car.
Yeah, that was just, I think, 2 VSCs. Oh, I just saw a message. Div 4 had 4 safety cars.
Oh god.
I'll get the other podiums. I did.
Yeah, so that's, well, I think Williams must have been top scorer there, but racing, I assume, a second.
Oh.
Pork chops in the comments here saying that's the first time the full field is finished. If that's true, that's a great effort, and we should applaud everyone for that effort.
There you go. So Hash doesn't have a mic. JC doesn't have a mic. At Yol. Well, at least hopefully we can get Yolmir as well. Div 4 podium was Knuckles Dissection, I think it is, something like that. Or Knuckles, Nitwit, and Dissect, finishing 3rd. So congratulations to those guys. Waiting on an answer from Div 2 and 3. But Mystic, supposedly Div 4 had 4 safety cars.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Oh my god.
I'm actually surprised that we didn't get one.
Yeah.
Pretty good. That midfield train was pretty insane from what I could see.
Sure was.
Yeah.
You pulled the right strategy to stay out of that, I'd say.
Yeah. I just barely got ahead of it too.
I'm just trying to get Yolmir in here. Okay, yeah. He's invited to the party. Sorry, but you can go ahead, start with Mystic. Just chat a little bit as well. I'll try and get someone else in here.
Start the interviews, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, go ahead.
Alright. Well, Mystic, it's been exactly the start to Season 3 I imagine you would have been after, with maximum points not only for the victory but for the fastest lap. How do you rate the race, and do you think that the rain was any threat to you at any point, or even any other drivers?
You know, couldn't ask for anything more with the end result. Definitely happy with you know, getting the win and fastest lap at the end. I was pretty disappointed with my quali. That's always a downside for me here, around here, is that when it's actually time, you know, for the real thing, I tend to be way too conservative and just you know, try not to DNF in quali and not invalidate. Because I mean, I was down, or in practice qualies that I was doing, I was setting like, you know, mid 7s, you know, and so I was feeling pretty confident. I mean, I knew that Gilles was gonna have really strong race pace around here, so I knew he was definitely gonna be a threat in the race. Once I wasn't able to get Gilles off the start, I was just trying to keep with him. You know, I wasn't using up too much of my ERS. I just wanted to stay in the DRS, try to pull a gap to, I believe, so, you know, just wanted to do that, and then, you know, a little bit later on in the race, then kind of, you know, start battling and whatnot. but yeah, once that rain came down, I was like, oh man, this is coming at like a really awkward time because it was gonna cross over. Because for a little bit, it almost seemed like it wasn't gonna cross over, but then it actually did. So, uh, yeah,
Well,
I
it
mean, all in
certainly
all,
seems you made the right choice.
yeah.
Can you give us any insight into the psyching of your teammate? Are you currently, you know, well, in the race? Do you communicate with Kenny, the season one champion, of course? Is he, you know, looking to come back onto the podium anytime soon, or is he psyched out? What's going on with Kenny, if you know?
Yeah, yeah. No, I was in a party with Kenny. You know, talked with him, been trying to help him out. You know, work together as a team. Fortunately, he had some misfortune during the race that kind of cost him. He did finish P10, but all things considered, I feel like it's a pretty solid recovery drive. You know, he had damaged wing and he got caught up in a couple things. So, um, yeah, you know, good race from him. He qualified, I believe, P6. I want to say.
Yes.
So that was really
So,
good.
yes.
Yeah. So that was really good. He's definitely hungry for it. You know, he wants to get back into you know, the rhythm of things and kind of get his form back from season one. And I'm gonna try my best to work together with him and get that old Kenny back.
Well, the positive news for you two, I believe, is that you should be in the Constructors' Championship lead. If not, it'll be Racing Point, but I mean, off the top of my head, it should be Williams. So, great start for both you and your team.
Yeah, appreciate it. And,
Okay.
I don't know if we're gonna
Ash,
get
have we got
everyone
P2?
else on the podium, but you know, congrats to the rest of the podium as well.
We got Yolmir with us here, who finished P2, as well as I got Cake Thomas in after, who finished good. But we'll go on to Yolmir first. Yolmir, what was going through your mind there on the final drag race down through the pit straight to take home second place? You said you're a little surprised coming over P2. What was going through your mind? Good. How are you? Yeah. Very loud, but yeah. No, you're fine. No, you're fine. Just no, you're good, man. Honestly, it's just a little loud. Who cares? Go ahead. Oh, Yolmir, I gotta cut you off. You gotta make sure that your audio settings are on share. They can't hear you right now. Do you remember how to do that? Do you remember how to do that, Jacko? I can't remember.
You got to go into the party settings, and it should be one of the options.
Quickly while you're doing that, we'll go through. We got Matt, Rosie, Will Ands, and AP7 with our Div 2 podium. Alright, you put it on? Okay, good. Can you hear him now, Pork Chops? Just let me know.
Let me put the mic a little bit low.
But yeah, once again, congratulations to our Div 2 podium, Matt, Rosie, Will Ands, and AP7. So good job to those drivers down in Div 2. Pork Chops, come on, let me know. But Cake as well, do you have your voice on share as well? Did you make sure to do that? Okay, good stuff. But yeah, alright. Sorry, go ahead, Yolmir. Okay, we can hear you, you're good. Go ahead, Yolmir, what was your thoughts going down the final straight as getting podium? What was going through your mind again? If you can run us through.
Oh, now you can hear me good?
Yeah. Pork Chop says you're all good. We can hear you.
Well, yeah, I was surprised because I feel the tap on my car with Hash. Hash appeared like on the whole race. He just appeared behind me, and then I just pushed. I used the whole race, and I said I'm gonna make it. But it was lucky I got the arrest by Valentin, I was so lucky.
Oh yeah, because you got DRS to Valentine coming down the final, the casino straight going into the chicane. I remember making a comment about that. Yeah, you're gonna have to buy him a beer then, hey? For
What,
thanks.
sorry?
You're gonna have to buy Valentine a beer for thanks. He
Yeah,
saved you out of
yeah,
second place.
I will. He was behind me for 2 laps, and he got too much patience,
Oh, so he actually
overtime.
he actually passed you then
Yeah,
to
he
give
passed me
to.
because we
Oh,
on lap 33 he coming out of the pit, and I passed him. I barely touched him, and then I got a soft, and he was coming out of the pit, and then he was behind me for 2 or 3 laps, and then I let him pass on that corner because I lost my car a little bit, and it's how I got the DRS.
oh, I didn't catch that. Well, congratulations, Yolmir. Hopefully we can see you again. Hopefully you won't be too surprised getting the podium next time. Maybe it can come into a usual thing. You are a very quick driver, and just hopefully you can find the consistency here. But congratulations on a race week 1 podium to you. Some solid points to you and your team. But we'll swing it over to Cake Thomas here. So Cake, kind of a weird one, hey? Kind of bring us through what went on throughout your race. You had a pretty solid finish.
Yeah, that was a terrible race in the beginning. I thought all hope was lost. I don't remember what lap it was on, but I was behind. I think maybe Smith Powell or something, and I think he had damage to his wing, so he was holding me up a little bit. And I went for a move coming out of the first chicane um, down into the second one before the DRS activation zone. And I don't remember who it was. Somebody in front of us got a little loose, and I sent it on the inside. And by the time I saw the car in front of me spinning, I had to really slam on the brakes and really jerk the wheel to kind of avoid everything. And as I did that, I think we made a little contact and it sent me spinning. So I went to the back. I just tried to keep my head down and make those mediums work a little longer. I ended up running like 2 or 3 laps longer than the stint wanted. And then I got lucky with that rain. I ended up staying out a little longer on the softs there and went on to the intermediates at a good time, and I just kept moving up spots, and then at the end I only had 3 seconds of penalty, so I was able to jump a couple cars after the checkers came out.
Well, yeah, solid stuff from you in the end. It was definitely a kind of interesting one. Now, did you know that the race was going to kind of go the way that it did with the rain? Sorry, I don't know if you mentioned that, but it was kind of a weird one today.
Yeah, I heard on the radio, my engineers said about like maybe lap 10 or 11 that they're expecting in like 15 minutes, and the sky looked pretty good. So I didn't really think that. I thought maybe it would miss the track a little bit, and sometimes I say it's 15 minutes, it doesn't end up being exactly 15, it ends up lasting a little longer. So I thought it was going to do something like that, but then around like lap 20 or so, it started really getting cloudy and dark, and then the rain obviously started. So yeah, I was not expecting that, but I was kind of hopeful for there to be rain at some point, because I think I'm decent in the rain, so I'm glad it ended up coming.
Well, there you go. Well, sorry, I'm muting myself because I'm typing and I want you to hear all the bionic keys in the background. But yeah, it was definitely an interesting one. Congratulations on the fight back into a solid position for you and your team there. But hopefully we can get you on for a proper podium interview sometime soon here. You're a pretty good driver. Jacko put some stock into you. He thinks that you could have found yourself up a little higher in the qualifying than you did, but hopefully you can find the consistency and the pace. And like I said, we can get you in here for an interview, but I think that's going to be about it for us here. Do you have anything to say, Jacko?
No, I think you've said it all. Just a very exciting way to start the season, and I'm glad I'm in a position to watch it happen rather than be involved in all the mess.
Yeah, there you go. It was a good one, guys. Honestly, go back and watch it. Like there was not like 30 seconds where I wasn't panning over to someone doing an overtake. Swear to God, it was a great race. A lot of clean stuff with the amount of passing that we saw, and for us to have no safety cars and with all 20 drivers finishing, only 2 VSCs. It was a very, very awesome first race to come in season 3, and it just shows the skill that this league is improving with in every season, getting the drivers that we are into Division 1. But yeah, I think that's about it for us here for the week. I think tomorrow starting our Friday Night Madness chaotic whatever the heck they're doing there. No more Friday Night Madness that Stat was putting on, as I don't even know if he still posted the final results from last season. But do you know? Oh, has he?
I don't think he has.
No, yes. I don't think you're ever going to get those results, guys, if you're waiting on those. So, yeah, but I think that's it for us here. Be sure to tune into our YouTube page if you want to go back and rewatch any of our videos. Like I said, we're trying to get on Division 3 into that YouTube page, as well as Division 2 gets posted up straight to there via our good friend Hotspot, the Div 2 announcer. So you have a good rest of your Thursday wherever you are. Be sure to tune back in Wednesday night, 6:30 Pacific, 9:30 Eastern, as we go back live with our F2 series. Kind of going from, as I bring up the schedule quick, we're going to be in Bahrain, so that's going to be a fun one. Be sure to check that one out. Cake, you're the Friday night organizer. What's happening tomorrow? You're there.
Yeah, we are doing Formula Renault at Portimao, so it should be a fun event.
There you go. You heard it here. Formula Renault at Portimao. That'll be a fun event. That's what you said, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. There we go. So, I mean, if you're interested in joining that up, hit us up on Discord, and we can get you into that series as well. But that is it for us here tonight. I got to get boogieing. Anything left to say, Jack, or are you good, my guy?
I'm good. Looking forward already to next week at Bahrain Short. Should be a banger.
There you go. What about you, Mystic? Anything? Any birthdays you want to shout out?
Just appreciate everyone tuning in, and thanks for the commentary, guys.
No problem. Anytime, Mystic. Congratulations on the win one again. But that is it for us here from the Midwest F1 League. I have been Crash McQueen. I've, of course, been joined by my new co-host, Elma Jacko, or Jacko. We've been the Midwest F1 League. Enjoy whatever's left of your week, and we'll see you Wednesday.